Okay guys, so we're going to take a look around the car itself. So you've got slightly tinted lights there, which I really like. Big mean grille. See the alloys there. And we're sitting on 275/45/21s for anyone who's interested. You also have a side step. You have no idea how much I love a side step. It's a little bit weird. And again, you've got nice signature Range Rover lights there as well at the back. Take you all the way around the car. So from a looks and style perspective, I actually really love the Range Rover. I mean, this one is finished in black, which I really like. It's got a kind of a mean look. Now I happen to know that this one has had the couple of bits done. So the alloys have been redone in black, but also they have changed this and they've painted that black. And also they've painted the big vents here black as well. Just the outside, you can see you've got a slightly two-tone color there, which looks really, really nice. This is the Range Sport, so it's a decent size, not as big as a full-size Range, but good size all round. But looks-wise, absolutely love the Range Rovers. Very, very nice. Okay, from a practicality and comfort perspective, you can't really get better than the Range Rover. So we're going to jump in and take a look. So again, you've got nice, big, comfy, padded seats. You can see there, they're relatively upright, so you sit relatively straight. Almost armchair position. You've got some pretty cool armrests here as well. Again, I'm not the biggest, most knowledgeable in terms of Range Rovers, so a lot of what I'm saying today, I'm just looking from my perspective in terms of what I like. So we'll jump in the back. Again, you can see there I'm sitting comfortably. You've got quite a bit of leg space there in the back still. 3 full-size seats as well. It's a very comfortable looking car. I'm going to flick this down and I assume, voila, how about that? So very nice, thick armrest. You've got your all important cup holders, of course. I'm gonna let's make the assumption. There we go. A bit of storage there as well. So practicality and comfort wise, very nice cars. Long journeys, short journeys, you name it. Flip that back up. Back to 3 seats. Now let's jump around, take a look at the boot. Now we do have the power boot, of course. And you can see that, a whole heap of space there for the boot itself. You can zoom out so you can get a better view. So a really good sized boot, very deep, very tall as well. And of course you've got a few features here, which we'll come back to in a second. Okay, so again, as always, I'm 5'10", looking at space, headspace, probably a 6'7", 8, 9, yeah, 7 foot I would sit here comfortably. Don't even know the seat's all the way down, but very, very nice in terms of space. I'm gonna shut this. You can see there, again, got a very, very thick padding here, which allows me to sit like that, comfortably. My shoulder is resting against the B pillar there, but again, not too much of a problem because I can move my seat forward a bit. I'm a bit more reclined than I normally am. And that's the cabin. So again, very, very nice. So comfort wise, I have to give it a 10. It's don't think you get much better than this in terms of comfort. You have the biggest panoramic roof that I've ever seen, going all the way back. So yeah, this car scores very highly in terms of comfort and practicality. Now next up guys, we're going to take a look at features and technology. Now as I mentioned before, I haven't really driven that many Range Rovers. I drove one from a DCT a while back, so I'm not too familiar with the controls. So I thought, actually, you know what, this is a good way to see how easy it is to actually manage and work around this car. Whether I can figure out all the controls, whether it's easy enough to work out what do I need to do to get myself comfortable, adjust the heating, put some music on, connect my phone. So you know what, we'll take a look at that. Okay, so first up, keys in my pocket, so we can hit the brake start button. Nice and easy. It's got the comfort mode in the steering wheel, so that readjusts to your position. Now, door handles wise, they're a little bit different. So I was actually, when I got in, I was looking for the handle for a little while, but it's right here. Just pulls out like that, of course. Get a nice image on the virtual display. Now I go down here, you can see that I've got my seat adjustments here. Up, down, left, right, usual what you would expect. Now the other thing about Range Rovers is they put the window controls up here. Now the first time I tried it, I was again looking for a little while, like, huh? But it actually makes a lot of sense because you can sit here comfortably, and as you would rest your arm on here. And you've got all the controls right here for you. So your windows, you've also got your mirrors here as well. Again, all adjustable from here. There we go. Now, next up is the steering wheel. So if I just come down here, you'll see you've got the control on this side. Now I'm used to having the steering wheel controls on the other side, but still all good. You can see here, very easy to adjust the steering column for 4 different ways. So again, all nice and easy. Now with the new Range Rovers, they've adjusted the steering wheel quite a bit, so you can see here, we can get this camera down, that you now have a number of nice new controls here on the steering wheel as well, looking all rather fancy. So you've got your volume, you've got your menu functions, everything else, which controls the computer in the back there. The other cool thing is you see the buttons adjust to whatever it is you actually need. So I look at driver assistance, display. So it seems pretty easy to work out how to actually control the infotainment system from here and the virtual headset display. Again here, it looks like we've got our cruise control functionality. Behind that, your indicators, all your normal functionality. Now the other cool thing about Range Rover is they've introduced this nice big set of screens here. So really clean, really nice, and you can see they've got minimum buttons here as well. So they've really reduced the number of buttons that you see compared to some of the old cars. And then that gives you a nice big screen. Now I'm going to try and work out how to turn this on. So got a power button here, seems the obvious place to start. Hold that down. Okay, so after lots and lots of user error, and hopefully this is not too blurry for you guys, I finally got the screen on. So yeah, so I think in terms of kind of technology, so as I mentioned before, the Range Rover's got the new set double screens, look really nice, and I want to check out how easy they are to actually work with. So you see here you've got the navigation function, so I press that, We are straight into maps, but I don't know how well you can see that because there's lots of glare and shadow. You've got a whole bunch of features at the bottom here as well. Click on camera, gives me my reversing camera, so pretty straightforward. I don't think this has a 360-degree view. You've got the parking function, you've got a mountain function here. I will now adjust the screen down the bottom here for all the different drive modes. Very different to a C63. Let's have a look through. Back to navigation, you've got the telephone system here as well. You've got a few phones there. You can pair a new device from the top here. Your Bluetooth function, again to pair devices for music and everything else. Music and videos. I'm listening to Dubai Now. Home. So yeah, so from the top perspective, it's actually pretty straightforward. Now looking down here at the bottom, again, we've got some settings. We've got the vehicle function here, which again takes you back to the same place in terms of different vehicle modes. I've got my air conditioning, got my heated windows, got my temperature gauge, with the fan for the left hand side here. I can just dial that up for the temperature. I can click back and then I've got the fan. So again, all quite straightforward. I've got my recycling air down the bottom here, a function on this side also, and it says here at the top, push for seats. So I will try that. Okay, push that. We got our heated seat function, which we can just dial up to 3 and dial back down. Going back up, so I guess that's similar to what we'll find up here. Our seat functions, and again switch that on. And then turn that back down, turn it back up, to back on. So to be honest, it's actually very straightforward. I mean, very easy, I think for myself, very easy to navigate. So climate control, we've got our auto function here. Oop, that's off. Should probably press the button that says auto. Not sure why they're different shapes, but anyway. So auto function on. We've got synchronize for the left hand side here as well to get everything in sync. And yeah, to be honest, it's very, very straightforward. I mean, as I said, nothing I found so far which is overly complex. Down here we've got a couple of buttons, the last hurrah for the buttons that they have. You've got the height here for the actual car itself, which puts the suspension up or down. As we speak, the car is dropping. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. But yeah, very, very easy to navigate in terms of the functionality. Digital displays up here, controlled by the buttons here and here. And we've got the stalks here for your wipers, stalks here for your indicators. All very, very straightforward, to be honest. This one's got the Meridian sound system, which from memory sounds very good. Yeah, technology wise, I love the screens, love the functionality. It's very straightforward from my perspective. So yeah, have to score it really high on this one as well. Okay, so drive wise, now this is where the Range Rover should excel. I mean, when we talk about performance, talk about driving, obviously with the exception of the SVR and some of the bigger engine ranges, it's not designed for flying down the road, racing, all those kind of things. It's designed for this comfort, and it's very, again, very, very comfortable, nice and easy to drive. Listen, I'm in a pretty upright position, but I managed to get my seat into a position where I'm actually very happy. Normally my legs start to bend too much that way and start to hurt, but no, this is actually good. As I said, everything feels nice. You've got the armrest here with my little additional armrest here as well, and again, just everything's in the right place just to drive very comfortably. So if I had to drive 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 miles, this is the car I want to do it in. As I said, I really have no complaints about the way it's driving. Feel really, really relaxed. The seats are very, very well cushioned, and just really hold you in the way that you would like a car to actually hold on to you when you're driving over long distances. Again, looking at the space behind me, there's tons of it. And this is the thing with the range, because you sit in quite an upright position, you're not having to stretch your legs out, which means that you can get a lot of space behind you. And to be fair, it's a relatively big car. Not uncomfortably big by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not a small car. It's a good sized car with lots of space in terms of elbow space, as I mentioned before. You can just sit there nicely with your arms up here and just relax. Now, as I've always mentioned, so C63s are normally what I drive, and this is such a far cry from that. Don't get me wrong, I love my C63s and I will probably be driving them till the very end. However, as a second car or as a daily drive, if I have to do long distances, I think I would come back. Now you'll see on the Love Cars that we've got a few reviews done by DCT, and he's really the Range Rover expert. He's day in, day out, he'll tell you anything about Range Rovers that you want to know. So we had a good chat about Rangers, why he likes them, why he keeps going back to them. He changed cars a few times, then went straight back to Range Rover, because he said he just loves what it offers in terms of the height. I mean, we're high up, we can see everything on the road. You can see the bonnet and the front of the bonnet, which isn't that long really, but you can see everything on the road. It's, you know, nice and relaxed. You don't really need to worry about space wise. It is a wide car, don't get me wrong, the car is quite wide, but it doesn't feel like it. What I think where the width goes for me is that inside you've got a good amount of space in terms of the door on this side to relax, but also on the armrest side as well, where you're not having to wrestle someone in the passenger seat for a bit of armrest space, which you do in some cars. So it's actually very, very good. Performance wise, again, this is the V6, so it's a diesel V6, 3 litre model. So it's got enough power. It's not an SVR, of course, so you're not going to have oodles of power, but it's good enough for daily driving, for commuting through. Plenty of power, very comfortable to get going and keep you going on the motorways, on B roads, etc. Now, I'm not going to do a handling review on this one because that's really not what the car's designed for. So I forgot where the mirrors are, windows are already. But I will say, I just saw another full-size Range Rover go by. It really is, as they say, the best at what it does. I mean, we've driven the KN, we've got the KN at home, we've got the SQ5 as well, we've driven the SQ7. And just driving this, I don't want to race, I don't want to drive fast. I actually want to just sit down, and if I had a TV and a cup of tea and something to read, it would be perfect. So again, I mean, performance-wise, I'm not saying it's the fastest car in the world. What I'm saying is it's a very, very nice place to be. Driving, comfort, can't feel anything on the road, no bumps or anything. So yeah, again, car scores very, very highly in terms of the drive.